Also, one of the other things we're following here, for the first time ever, most people who rent in America put 30% of their income towards their rent. And that's why, gentlemen, you're about to meet, Ankur Jain launched a company named Bilt. Now, Bilt aims to let these renters earn points on their rent, the way you have airline points and that kind of thing on your other cards, and you can do it no matter where you live. Today, the company has news announcing a $200 million investment, getting a valuation for Bilt, we're told, of a lot of money, $3.1 billion. So let's welcome Ankur Jain. It's been some company, great growth for you for the last, what, couple of years, right?
We only launched less than 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But I think that just tells you how big of a problem it is that people are spending so much of their income on rent and asking themselves even today, why are we not getting anything back?
I want to talk about the issues surrounding that, but just briefly for our audience who may not know, explain how this works, because a lot of people who rent, they're saying, oh, I got to write a check to my landlord and pay the rent every month.
First of all, the fact that people have checkbooks still is painful.
I know. You think it's going to be some 90-year-old woman in front of you at the supermarket, but it's also for paying rent.
This is the only reason anyone under the age of 40 still has a checkbook, and we're going to eliminate that. But so with Bilt, you can pay rent at any apartment, and we work, by the way, in addition to that, with over 4 million apartments across the country, where we are the full payment solution for the buildings. So when you move in, you're paying your rent through Bilt by bank ACH, debit card, credit card, whatever that might be. The difference is that every time you pay rent now, you get airline miles, you get hotel points, you actually get rewarded, and more importantly, I think, you get free credit reporting. So for the first time, people in this country can build their credit history just by paying rent.
Okay, there's a few different things and kind of bigger picture issues we could talk about here. One is just simple affordability of housing, right? And then we'll talk about inflation and the economy and everything else. But the mayor
cover all that right now.
Yes, exactly. We'll see. This show's going to go till midnight. We had, a clip from Mayor Adams of New York. We played it last hour on immigration, but he also talked today, made an announcement about housing affordability in this city. It's not just this city, but this city's a big issue. It's always been a big issue, bigger now than ever. Here's the mayor. Let's listen.
It is no secret that this city and this nation are facing a massive housing crisis. 60 years of injustice and underdevelopment have brought us to the brink. It's time for a powerful new housing agenda. That is why we have a moonshot goal of building 500,000 housing units over the next decade. We can do it.
So he wants to build more. That's been a problem here, right? Supply. And that's why so many, to the point you made when you came on, so many people just can't afford to stay here, and other cities.
Rent across the United States is so high.
Right.
I mean, you were talking about 30%. In New York, for the average person under the age of 35, rent is almost 50% of their income. I mean, it is just not bearable. And so the question is, as we increase supply, that's going to help. That takes time, right?
Right.
What else can we do to help young people get through that? Now, obviously, one is, look, people are starting to find ways to live together, reduce costs through roommates.
Yes.
You're seeing a surge of people moving back into their parents' homes. I mean, 1 year of savings can be a down payment, right? But also, look, there are still many reasons you have to rent, and if we can at least make that work for you, right? If you can start to say, I can fund my travel every year because of the points I earn on rent.
That's one thing, but you also, I guess, building credit is a big thing, because you talk about it as a way that eventually you don't have to rent anymore.
That's right. I mean, when you think about renting, the idea that you rent for 10 years and get no closer to home ownership is crazy.
Yeah.
Right? So in 2019, I mean, it took us 3.5 years just to put the foundation for this company together. When you think about what it takes to get to home ownership, first you have to have credit history. I mean, you cannot get a mortgage from Fannie, Freddie, FHA. And yet the problem is, to build credit history, they say you need to have credit history. So there's this weird loop. We said, well, everyone's paying rent. And if you're signing a 12-month lease and paying on time every month, that is the best predictor of paying your mortgage. So we got Fannie, Freddie, FHA to work with us and others to say, rental payments now build your credit and qualify you for a home.
Right, so that means you could buy a home at some point.
And then we want to step further, right? Because you also pay the down payment. Okay. We got them to agree to take rewards points as a source of funds for your down payment.
Oh, okay.
So paying your rent, you can use it on a flight, but you could even save it towards a down payment.
That's an interesting idea. The final thing I'll ask you is just a kind of a big picture question about the economy. We've been having a discussion, I guess, with a lot of guests lately about where we are right now, because you see a lot of people, especially, we cover politics, they say, economy's in bad shape, I'm not feeling it. And then you get numbers out, the economy's in good shape, especially when it comes to inflation, which is what you're talking about with the rents that keep going higher and higher. Where are we right now, do you think?
I don't think the inflation numbers accurately reflect the cost of living that most young people are seeing. I mean, they still use metrics that sometimes don't make sense, right? Rent is not factored in as much as it should be, and that is the single biggest expense. I mean, we're seeing it. People talk about inflation slowing. That doesn't necessarily mean prices have gone down.
Yeah, it's not going up as much.
It's not going up as much, right? It doesn't make up for the fact that people can't afford what they were before it went up, and now you're spending, double the prices on rent, on groceries, on gas. So I think that's going to be a challenge for Biden.
Yeah.
He keeps saying, well, look, everything's okay, and I keep saying, if you don't even acknowledge that people are having a hard time because you're so determined to tell people that you're doing well, right, you're going to have that dissonance. It's going to be very hard to win that story.
We were talking about it, I think it was earlier in the week, so it's hard to tell people what to feel. They feel what they feel, they see what they see. But Ankur, nice to meet you, and interesting. Thanks so much for watching. Just go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.